Hello students, good morning. Today we have to discuss about the new articles, that is unit vector. See, this topic unit vector is very important for scalar and scalar and vector. So how we can find out the unit vectors if the vector is given, any vector is given to us? Or many problems depends on this unit vector, calculate the unit vector of these vectors. Okay, so how we can calculate unit vector? First of all, see, unit vector means what? A vector having unit magnitude. What is the meaning of unit magnitude? Where unit magnitude means what? 1 is called unit vector. Okay, suppose this marker has length 1 meter, so we can say it is a unit vector. It means that the magnitude of the vector should be unit. Okay, unit means what? 1. So such vector is called as unit vector, and it is represented by the representation of vector, unit vector, is n cap. N stands for what? Unit vector, and this cap is the representation of unit vector. Okay, so this cap stands for unit vector. So n cap, that is the unit vector. Now see the formula to find the unit vector. So we can write unit vector is equal to vector upon magnitude of vector. Vector upon magnitude of vector. So suppose we are considering vector A, that is vector A. So this is the representation of vector A, and if we want to represent the magnitude of vector A, then there are two methods to represent the magnitude of vector A. One is, if you want to write vector A, so you should write in mod of. So mod of vector A represents its magnitude, or we can simply write here A. So simply write. So do not put here an arrow over the head of vector A. So just you simply write, then this A also represents the magnitude of vector A. Means to represent the magnitude of vector A, we can use mod of vector A or simply A. So put in this formula. So what we will get here? So unit vector means what? N cap is equal to vector, that is vector A upon magnitude of vector. Magnitude of vector means mod of vector A. Or we can represent n cap is equal to vector A upon. So instead of this mod of vector A, we can use only A, simply A. Okay, so these are the representation of unit vector. So while you are writing unit vector, then unit vector is equal to vector upon its magnitude. Here also vector upon its magnitude, but magnitude can be represented by two ways. One is vector A in the mod of vector A, or mod of vector A we can say, and simply another is simply A. Now what is the meaning of vector? So vector means what? So according to this relation, we can write vector is equal to, so see here, using this formula, how we can write vector? that is vector is equal to, therefore we can write vector is equal to magnitude of vector multiplied by unit vector. Magnitude of vector multiplied by unit vector. Multiplied by unit vector. So this is the important formula. This is the important formula to find out vector. So vector is nothing but just, vector means what? Vector means its magnitude multiplied by unit vector. So how we can write vector A here? So we can write vector A is equal to, therefore vector A is equal to this mod of A, that is magnitude multiplied by unit vector. So we can write mod of vector A into n cap. So this is the method to represent the vector. Any vector, okay. Here so you can write here vector A is equal to this magnitude of vector, that is A into unit vector, that is n cap. So these are the methods to write proper vector, okay. So this is about unit vectors. Now the most important thing is about the rectangular units, okay. We already Cartesian coordinate system, we know the Cartesian coordinate systems, that is x, y, z. Three vectors are mutually perpendicular to each other. See here, this x-axis, horizontal axis, x-axis, vertical axis, y-axis, and the third axis, the direction of third axis is towards you. It means that, so in this condition we can say that these three vectors are mutually perpendicular to each other. So this is called as Cartesian coordinate system. So in this situation, in between any two vectors, angle inclination must be 90 degrees. So we can say these three vectors are mutually perpendicular to each other. So let us discuss about the rectangular units. So this is about unit vectors. Now give the heading rectangular units. So which are rectangular units? So for that purpose, just draw three vectors which are mutually perpendicular to each other. So like this, suppose this is x-axis, vertical, that is y-axis, and third axis is like this. So three axes are there. So the three axes are like this, that is x-axis, here y-axis, and here z-axis. So this is the origin. So these three axes are there, and we are using here unit vectors for x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. So always remember to represent the unit vector of x-axis, we have to use I cap. To represent the unit vector of y-axis, that is j cap. To represent the unit vector of z-axis, that is k cap. Okay. So I cap, j cap, k cap. So these three are the unit vectors for x axis, y axis and z axis simultaneously. So we can write here this system is called as Cartesian coordinate system, or we can say that the Cartesian coordinate system. Cartesian coordinate system. Cartesian coordinate system. Where we can write I cap I cap. So I cap means what? It is a unit vector. This the unit vector which is used for x axis. So I cap, that is the unit vector along x axis. Along x axis. Okay. Now next unit vector, that is j cap. So j cap, that is it is also unit vector along y axis. Similarly, k cap, that is the unit vector of along z axis. So similarly, you should remember here I cap, j cap, k cap. So these are called as rectangular units. Rectangular units, that is, in rectangular units, I cap always and always used for x axis, j cap used for y axis, similarly k cap used for z axis. So I cap, j cap and k cap, they are nothing but just they are unit vectors for x, y and z axis. Okay, so this is about rectangular units. Okay, so we have to discuss about the resolution of vectors. Okay, so tomorrow we will discuss about the resolution of vectors. So till then, thanks.